Yes, hi guys, good afternoon to you from London. The time is exactly 1 o'clock London time. This grayish, rainy day in London. The time is just 1 o'clock. Today, Tuesday, the 27th day of November 2018. Yes, I can spot you, Ayo Ogudimo. You are welcome to the show. Samson and Johnny as well. I can spot you. I can see a lot of people actually tuning in, despite the fact that I've not really made that announcement to tell you guys that I'll be coming live. Yes, Abebi Olayemi Shubawale Lola Odulano, you all are welcome to my show this afternoon. It's very grayish in London, and I think the temperature here where I am is about 5 degrees Celsius, cold, raining, and at the same time the sky is very, very grayish. Yes, Samson and Johnny, good afternoon to you, my dear brother. Now, like we always do, we are going straight into episode 14 this afternoon on 2019 Nigeria decides. Yes, we are. Franca Obi, yes, you are equally welcome to the show. Now, in our usual style, the house style, let us seize this opportunity. Peter Toba, yes, you are all welcome to this great show today. Now, in our usual style, let me seize the opportunity first of all to invite a handful of my avid viewers from the other parts of the world, from Nigeria, from the rest of Europe, from the United States. So let me cue this one for you. I'm going to send the invites out to people. I won't be able to see you guys, so just immediately after that, then we will kickstart that. Place of freedom right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Yeah, Franca Obi is in, but I've sent you another invite. I'm not too sure if Shobuki will tune in. She's probably at work, and if she does, that's cool. Titi Obagun, Titi Lola Obagun, fine, yes. Richard. Yeah, just give me some minutes, guys. Let's, yeah, Buki Taiwo, I know Buki Taiwo is in Nigeria. She was hoping, yeah, she actually communicated with me last night thinking I was going to come live. I thought I would last night, but I was terribly tired. I did a 3-mile walk yesterday, so I was a bit knackered by the time I finished the 3-mile walk. So let's invite both friends and foes into the show. Yeah. Just bear with me, guys, and we are going to be on our way. So, yeah, a lot of people are important. Ayogundimo is in. I've sent you another invite. Yeah, Alaba Yusuf, one of the campaign coordinators for the Atiku in Nigeria. Yeah. I just I don't want to wait until I get home, perhaps very tired, and you guys must have been expecting quite a lot from me. Yeah, Larry Olaushun, the PDP man. Yeah, Kyle protect me in Nigeria. Yeah, Peter Olorunishomo, my good friend, the doctor. Yeah, Olukayode Olumide Ogundamisi, yes. The man that will die for Muhammadu Buhari anytime. I'm not too sure whether he's on Muhammadu Buhari's payroll for now, but I think he is actually. I think he is. Okay. Ayinka Ayinola in Port Harcourt. Another one, PDP guy, Godson Azul. Yeah. I think my Abiola African Voice sent me something not this few minutes ago. Mazi, best man, Biafran man. Samson Anjorin is already in, but I've sent you another invite. Oh, Mrs. Musa, Aisha Musa. Okay, I think I said I was going to call that woman in Venezuela, our ambassador. She lost the son, as I was told, in Abuja. Okay. I can't see anyone for now, guys, but I'm going to be with you any minute from now. I think we are gradually getting there. Femi Odo, I think he's in Nigeria. Yeah. Tokumbo no sugar KTA. Yeah. Oh, Femi Olowoporoko, my friend in Nigeria. John Craig Bolam, yeah. Ray Power, Suki Champion. Okay. Just give me 1 minute, guy. Oruwense Osaro, yeah. Nobody can love you the way I do. I need you, my love. Nobody can love you the way I do. Aga, Ibiam. Because of you, I fly like butterfly, my love. Oh yeah. But this thing make people they say I don't lose my things, my pain, but nobody can stop me from loving you. My love. Let's not swing Hakilo. Yeah. Nobody can love you the way I do. I'm with you, my love. With you, everything is well, your love can make my heart. Alistair Shoyode, yes, he was chatting to me yesterday. Charles. You be the person where they make me feel cool. Tell them say you are the blessing, and that's why you are so interesting. Nobody's understanding nobody. Oh my beautiful girl, now all these people they say. Oh, Kelechi. But they can't stop me from loving nobody. I'm with you, my love. Let me see, yes, let me see. Yeah, Tumba on my back too, yes. Okay, Tolu Alashe, yes. Okay, Jamo Israel. Abebi, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm gonna stop here now, guys. Yeah. Right. Yes, Franca Obi, my auntie, Mama Tayo. Wow. You're welcome into the show. Let me just yeah, Babatunde Benson. Bensiele. Okay, guys, you're all welcome to my show today. Now, today's Tuesday. Yeah, Citizens AY and Franca Obi, you've already shared the stuff. Let me see. Yes, yeah, I've seen Samson and Johnny, Peter Toba, yeah, Ikechukwu Williams Ifeanyi. Yeah, I'm sure those are the Biafran guys or the Omoyo Leisho Warrior group. Amina Olayinka, yes. Right, guys, very grayish in London today. The temperature is about 5 degrees Celsius, like I said. It is Tuesday, the 27th day of November 2018. The run up to the Christmas is just around the corner. So Christmas is probably less than a month from now. So also it's the countdown to the general elections in Nigeria. I think we've got about 90 days or less than 90 days as the clock is ticking to that countdown. And one thing is for certain, guys, that it's going to be a little bit tough and rough, and there's going to be, Nigeria will probably witness the muckiest electioneering campaign in 2019, because we've got quite a handful of controversy surrounding this coming election. We've got that rumors or the allegations that the Muhammadu Buhari that we've got in Asavila is not the real Muhammadu Buhari, but a cloned Muhammadu Buhari. So we're still going to talk. We're not deviating. We're not really deviating away from that topic, and I am not shy to actually continue to dig deeper and deeper into the whole issue, and the fact that Muhammadu Buhari is not even coming out to defend himself, the fact that Muhammadu Buhari's children are not coming out to defend their father, the fact that Aisha Buhari is not coming out to defend her husband means something dodgy and fishy is going on. So I am not going to shy away from it or move away from it, because it is very clear now that a handful of our leaders in Nigeria, starting all the way from former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the former military dictator as well, General Abdulsalam Abubakar, is equally making it known to the rest of Nigerians that Muhammadu Buhari should at least speak to the nation. But before we begin, Buki Taiwo, you've tuned in. Yeah, I did made mention of your name that yeah, hi. I made mention of your name that I'm not too sure if you'll be aware that I'll be doing this podcast, because I announced your presence that you're somewhere in Nigeria at the moment. So, but thanks for tuning in to watch the show. How are you proceeding in Nigeria? I hope Nigeria has been very favorable to you. I know it can be so, it can be madness in that country. It's totally different from England. Before we go into the issue of Muhammadu Buhari's cloned or not cloned. He's somebody actually came up with a photographic picture of Muhammadu Buhari writing with his left hand, which I don't really think that is substantiated enough. It is not substantiated enough for me. Citizen Tosin, you are welcome to the show. Let me quickly take your comment. Bukit, let me take yours first. Bukit said, well, it's a bit strange. Indeed, Nigeria is a very strange country. Olayinka said, Nigerians still don't believe that Jubril story. They believe that it is the opposition and the looters, as they claim, that is masterminding this story. I don't really think so. And I'm going to give you some other proofs today. But before we go into the nitty-gritty of this, yes, Mr. Ayori Deotokiti, yes, you're welcome. I'll swipe it back as we carry on in the show. Sometimes I'll have to switch on the engine of the car so that at least I can get some heat, because it's about 5 degrees Celsius in London. Before we go into the nitty-gritty of the issue of Muhammadu Buhari's clone or not clone, you see, something that's been bothering me for a very long time in the history of broadcasting in Nigeria is the fact that we all know the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, and before the Nigerian Television Authority became the NTA, it used to be the Nigerian Television, NTV. Now, that particular NTA, the Nigerian Television Authority, is predominantly controlled by the federal government. So we are actually looking at a television station that we might probably tag as being the equivalent of the BBC in London, but not to the standard at which the BBC do handle their own broadcasting. Now, in England and Wales, or throughout the entire United Kingdom, BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, they have never been partisan to politics in the United Kingdom. Now, each and every political party, starting all the way from the Conservative Party right up to the Labour Party and down to the Lib Dems and the Greens and all those major political parties, are given the chance and the opportunity to sell themselves to the entire country in the United Kingdom. You see, but with a situation like our own country, it is never so. NTA, the Nigerian Television Authority, is partisan, and they have been partisan for a very long time. I remembered one thing that I was really vexed about, and I was mad almost at the same time, was during the Jonathan's campaign in 2011, in which the whole energy of the NTA were all channeled towards the Jonathan's re-election bid, and the opposition were left terribly in the cold. Thank God that for a very, very long time before, we should thank Ibrahim Babangida for actually liberalizing the telecommunications industry when he was military junta, as many people probably did not know. So it was Babangida that actually gave that opportunity to independent broadcasters to begin to own their own TV and radio stations. Hence, we had the opportunity to begin to watch channels, AIT, who came into the scene, and all these stations had the opportunity because they rely so much on advertising as a source of revenue. So thank God for them that a handful of other political opponents were able to actually air their political manifestos and agendas through those TV stations. It is not so with the NTA. Now, listen to this. After acknowledging payment, after the Nigerian Television Authority took payments from Atiku's AUN, American University, Nigeria, they took payments, but then they refused to actually broadcast what was meant to be made public through their medium. Is that justice? Or were they taking sides, knowing fully well that heads will probably roll with directives from the presidency to sack probably the director general of the corporation or something like that? We have to look into that. Why should the Nigerian Television Authority be partisan in their broadcasting? I think it is high time. We have to really look into that. We have to look into their funding. We have to look into so many other issues regarding the modus operandi of the Nigerian Television Authority. We seriously have to look into that. Because this was actually an observation by somebody by the name of Adebayo Akinwale, who was in Abuja. So he stated, in what appears to be part of political intrigues ahead of the 2019 general election, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Saturday gone, declined to broadcast the 13th anniversary of the American University of Nigeria, AUN, YOLA, live, despite receiving millions of naira. You see, since they have refused to broadcast, or rather honor their own part of the contractual obligation, should the American University of Nigeria sue NTA? I'll leave that as a question mark, because this should never be condoned in a multicultural society such as Nigeria. We know the country is complex enough that whosoever wants to rule in that country must equally be a tough, rugged human being. Otherwise, you'll be messed up along the line. I'll leave that for Nigerians to decide for themselves. Now, Kayode Shotomi, you are welcome. Bukitaiwo said, considering we hear a lot in the UK, so now I can ratify all we hear. Okay, Onwese Osaro, you are welcome to the show. Ikechukwu Williams Ifeanyi says, Somehow, it's surprising that not even the opposition candidates like Atiku, Showore, and Mogalu are saying anything about this issue. They're not saying anything about it. And I would have thought that Omoyele, Showore, Ikechukwu Williams, Ifeanyi should have known better, being a media person himself. And he should have attacked head on, like I am attacking the NTA right now on my show. He should have attacked them, because at the end of the day, it is called Nigerian Television Authority and not Muhammadu Buhari's Television Authority or Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida's TV Television Authority, nor Atiku TV Authority or whatever. It is the Nigerian Television Authority. Perhaps the NTA is probably not as sophisticated as the BBC, but they are probably on the same brand, the same level. Perhaps Channels TV and TVC and AIT are even far more sophisticated than that rubbish Nigerian Television Authority. The days of the Nigerian Television Authority are gone. They look, the world of broadcasting, they've moved digitally, but the Nigerian Television Authority are still operating the analog system of broadcasting. I don't even think they've got an outside broadcast van like the BBC and ITN they've got here in England, to be honest with you. The NTA cannot carry out an outside broadcast other than within their station. So I'm really surprised that both Showore and Mogalu are not really emphasizing on that, because they are playing what these two leading independent guys are doing is that they are, as a matter of fact, shortchanging themselves in propagating their messages across to the rest of the country. Yeah, I think that spells that. Aminala Yinka, you expressed my opinion. Thank you so much for that. Bukky Taiwo said, the dodgy new Osun State governor is being sworn in. They are showing the inauguration now on TVC. What do you expect? Bola Tinubu owns the TVC in Nigeria, and Dele Alake, Bola Tinubu's former commissioner for information, is the managing director of the TVC. I know that for that. Yeah. Why won't they show that? They will show it because Bola Tinubu owns TVC, and he equally owns the nation. So the man has got the print media below the line. We call that below the line in advertising, and he's got an electronic medium which is above the line. So the man is Bola Tinubu is literally holding Nigeria to ransom with those two media outfit. Bola Fadairo, a rugged guy like Showore, indeed. Sheun Wisdom Ogunsanwo said, there are too many things in the hands of Showore right now. He has said a similar thing about how some radio stations and TV stations are so partisan that they won't even have him come on air. We know that, indeed. We know that. But Frank, Bukky said, I'm here and there's no publicity on Showore, Professor Kingsley. All I see here is PDP and APC. Yeah, Bukky Taiwo, you remember in one of my podcasts that I made, in which Saratu Ahmed, one of my regulars from Abuja, did emphasize that they've not heard of Omoyele Showore, and that they've not heard of Professor Kingsley Moghalu, we in the diaspora outside the country are the people who are aware of these two potential candidates. And you remember I said it as well, that if I'm actually asked to choose my favorite of all those presidential aspirants, to be very honest with you, I think Professor Kingsley Moghalu, let's put our tribe to one side and let's put every other issues to side. I think Professor Kingsley Moghalu is the most qualified of all the presidential aspirants in 2019. But the question is, will they allow such a man with such fantastic qualifications, academic qualifications, experience and background to pilot that country? No, they won't. Bukky Taiwo, again, you said, to be honest, Nigeria is a two-party system. All the other parties are non-existent, I'm afraid. Yes, Sarah to me did make mention of that the 2019 general election is definitely between Muhammadu Buhari, supposedly Muhammadu Buhari and Atiku in 2019. Peter Toba said Sowore needs a communications director. He needs someone to manage that critical aspect of his campaign. There are a lot of things that is wrong with Omoyele Showore's campaign team. I think Omoyele Sowore is a one-man show in this 2019, and what he's resorted to basically is the social media. He's been harnessing every of his campaign through the social media. Let's see how far this is going to take Omoyele Sowore. Alaba Yusuf, you're welcome to the show. Bukky Taiwo, again, you said all the Sowore and Professor Kingsley are just within the diaspora. Most unfortunate. I think the Nigerian media are to blame for this. Indeed, Bukky Taiwo, you've said it all. Sister Bukola Murakinyo, you're welcome. Ikechukwu Williams Ifeanyi again also made a comment by saying, I also think that Moghalu is the best of them all for the job. There's no doubt about that. That is the reason why I said let us put tribes aside. Let us put sentiments aside. To be very honest with you, Nigerians won't see Professor Kingsley Moghalu as the guy because he won't dish out money. Moghalu will strongly rely on what he wants to deliver for the people of Nigeria, but Nigerians will never see that. He's still my favorite. Kenny Omaki Abed, you're welcome to the show. My good friend Stephen Adeyin Kaladipo equally is in. Bola Fadairo said that is why we need a rugged guy, even though Kingsley is better. Yes, he's better. We need a rugged guy. Bukky Taiwo said all the noise on social media is from the diaspora. Nothing happened in Nigeria. Yeah, Bukky Taiwo, you are on ground now in Nigeria, so you are having a feel of what is really happening up there, so you are able to tell us. Benson Olusegun said, Bukky, don't mislead. Please, for your information, I'm watching on Channel TV. I'm watching Channels TV also. Yeah, no, she never mentioned Channels TV. She mentioned TVC. So perhaps maybe Benson Olusegun, you want to switch your station back to TVC. Bukky did make mention of TVC and not Channels. That comment is gone past, but I remembered. Ayono Banjo, you are welcome to the show. Peter Toba said, the average Nigerian reminds me of an alcoholic that needs to hit rock bottom before being saved. The people need to hit rock bottom. Sadly, I think you've said it right. Bukky Taiwo said, Professor might be the best option, but there's nothing on him within Nigeria. fact, you are on fact there, Bukky Taiwo. Now, I said to you guys that the issue of Muhammadu Buhari as a clone is not going to go away with me. And I will still carry on until something is done about it. I'll swipe that back to read your comment because I want to see myself in full screen. It's not going to go away with me. You see, the mere fact that Muhammadu Buhari is not addressing the nation, is not talking. Now, of late, there's been a picture of him that's really gone viral on the social media with Muhammadu Buhari using his left hand to write on his table. As an information man and as somebody who is very conversant and who is capable of using Photoshop effectively, I discounted the picture because when I looked at the picture in Photoshop, it is something we call lateral reversal. So that image could have been laterally reversed from right to left or left to right. You can do that in Photoshop. So in relation to that picture, I am going to debunk that it is Photoshop manipulation, guys. Let us call a spade a spade. Where I see wrong, I will tell you it is wrong, and where there is a fact, I'll tell you there is a fact here. See, one of the facts I really want to dig in now is the fact that I got it just immediately it broke out, and this was actually coming from the former military head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar. Now, General Abubakar said, and I quote, because this is a quote, I'm quoting General Abdulsalam Abubakar: "The story of a foreigner in the presidential villa playing the role of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not something that should be overlooked, taking into consideration the continuous silence of President Buhari. The President avoids public functions." Underscore that. The President avoids public functions. For the second time, I want you to please underscore that statement. Again, I repeat, the President avoids public functions without any reason whatsoever, and you want the people that elected him not to be worried. I'll take that statement once again. The President avoids public functions without any reason whatsoever, and you want the people that elected him not to be worried. Somebody, you can try back later. I know you're trying to get through live onto this show. Let me finish the statement, and then when you come back, then I will accept you. Buhari is my good friend, but I must tell him the truth. He should take out at least a minute and speak to the populace on national TV. If he fails to address Nigerians, his handlers then truly have questions to answer. This was by the former military head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar. So that quote, I've closed the quote. I asked you guys to underscore the statement. The president avoids public functions without any reason whatsoever, and you want the people that elected him not to be worried. Of course, I am worried. And I think I've actually outlined in one of my podcasts the reasons why I am worried. He's not talking to us despite these huge allegations. Now, I want to cast you guys' mind back into other pressing issues in that country. I'm trying to see who is in, and I'll take a few comments. I want you guys to please revisit. When was the last time they had Council of States meeting in Nigeria, and at the same time Federal Executive Council meeting? Those two meetings, Council of States meeting and Federal Executive Council, when was the last time? See, Council of States meeting is the meeting whereby former presidents and heads of state will meet together in Aso Rock as one, and they will discuss national issues bothering Nigerians. So when was the last time? Google it yourself. Those two, Google them. Just go into Google and type in when was the last time Nigeria had Federal Executive Council's meeting, and at the same time, when was the last time Nigeria had the Council of States meeting. That will provide you with the answer. Peter Toba said, the average Nigerian reminds me, okay, well, I think I've taken that comment. Oye Tola Olanrewaju Oyebanji, you're welcome to my show. Yes, Toluala Share, you're welcome. Franca Obi said, Frank, there is no free and fair election in Nigeria. Ekiti and Oshun was taken by force by Jubril Buhari impostor for dominating Nigeria oil. Nigerians think they are having election with an impostor. Ikechukwu Williams Ifeanyi, you said, okay, what about the Our Mumu Don't Do movement and Obi Ezekwesili? They are also not paying anything. These are people who have been very vocal against wrongs. Buki said, it's sad Nigeria is stuck with APC and PDP. These two parties are the strong with that, stronghold of Nigeria. Don't look like it will change anytime sooner, Frank. I will be honest with you. You are on ground, and I know, despite the fact that I am not on ground, I still keep getting nearly every information. Look, if the president farted in the State House, I will know from here. Benson Olusegun said, thanks, Frank, for that honest observations about those pictures. Of course, I will say the truth. I won't deviate from saying the truth. Alaba Yusuf said, frankly speaking, democracy, Alaba is in Nigeria at the moment, and he's one of the top guys on Atiku Abubakar's campaign. So he's my very good friend. Alaba is as rugged as me as well, but probably far more rugged than me, in the sense that Alaba Yusuf does not even spare people. If Alaba wants to repair you, he will repair you, and if Alaba wants to destroy you, let me assure you, Alaba will destroy you ruthlessly. Frankly speaking, democracy, according to you, Alaba is still much young, with several encumbrances. Not until electronic voting is allowed and Nigerians in diaspora can vote, not a lot can be done differently. I think I am going to be at the forefront of diaspora voting very soon, because I think Alistair Shoyode and myself, Femi Okutubo and Mike Abiola, we fought ruthlessly with Tafida at the time. Tafida promised he was going to look into it, talking to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, but they never did. But I think I am going to ignite that pressure on them for diaspora voting. It's not going to go away with me. For now, money cannot be divorced from politics in Nigeria, indeed. And how many of our eggheads have the required homogeneous campaign? No. Eggheads don't command cash. You're right. An Atiku presidency should look into the issue of electronic voting and right to vote for Nigerians abroad as part of his restructuring program. Thank you very much for that, Alaba. Hashtag let's get Nigeria working again. That was Alaba's comment. Amina Olayinka said, can't we get a full details of this Jibril before he was hired? His pictures, who he was before the cloning job. They kept it extremely secret, Amina, and perhaps one of them that was behind that cloning apparently died, Abakari. We will probably touch that. Carlos Elekwa, Nigeria is a joke, and joke it will remain. Yeah, Nigeria is a joke. I've actually made mention of that many times, that that country is a joke. But how do we clear that joke? Peter Toba said, will Nigeria survive another 4 years of Buhari? I fear the country may finally disintegrate. Another civil war? I think so. If not civil war, perhaps a revolution. Buki Taiwo said, Frank, that diaspora voting is not looking like it will happen anytime sooner either. It will, I will assure you, because that will be my next campaign, diaspora voting, and I'll carry it to the highest. Although it has nothing to do with the British government, but we will collectively we will fight it. We will definitely fight it out. Now, we all know quite well that Atiku had already ignited his campaign, and we all know that Atiku's campaign director general is the former governor of Ogun State, Otumba Gbenga Daniels. I have a date. I have some dates on Atiku campaign. Now, on the 28th of November, which is tomorrow, that campaign will start in Lagos, the Southwest. So Lagos will be bombarded, and the rest of the Southwest as from tomorrow on Atiku's campaign. See, now Atiku is going to campaign in the Southwest. The man was not even afraid. No, he will be there. He's going to meet with perhaps the Oba of Lagos, Oba Akinolu. He's probably going to pay homage to the Lion of Bodilon, and he's probably going to meet with key notable kings in the Southwest. Perhaps that campaign in the Southwest will take him through to Ibadan, where he'll pay homage to the king, the Olubadan, and perhaps that campaign will equally take him to Ile-Ife, where he's going to do the same and pay homage to the Oni and the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Adeyemi II. Iku Baba Yeye. Now, this man, Atiku, is not scared to even approach our others. I am still wondering, how will Muhammadu Buhari approach all those kings in the southwest, in Yoruba land, considering the garbage he's bringing down and what will await him? One of the most toughest garbage is the Fulani headsmen. Is Muhammadu Buhari going to go to our others? Will he proceed to Akure, my own hometown, to visit the Deji of Akure land, my king? How is he going to do that? When, as a matter of fact, the Fulani headsmen truncated our foremost chief, a respected chief, and a former secretary to the federal government under Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida IBB, Chief Ulufalaye, and he said nothing. You see, we've got Atiku mapped out, his campaign strategies in the southwest, and it's kicking off from tomorrow, November 28. Then his campaign is going to move to the northwest, and he's going to kickstart his campaign in the northwest from Kano on the 1st of December. And then he's coming down south again to Enugu in the southeast as from the 5th of December. The north central, Ilorin, Kwara, is meant to kick off on the 8th of December. South-South, Port Harcourt in River State comes up on the 12th of December. And the Northeast, Bauchi comes up December 15th. See, we've got those strategies. And here, we've got it equally penned down. Apart from visiting or going many places. You see, there was this case of the fact that the APC, they are too scared to bring about the same cloned Muhammadu Buhari for Nigerians for a presidential debate. I'm going to take your comments. I can see comments flying in there. I'll take those comments. So I've swiped that. APC are scared to bring forth Muhammadu Buhari into the presidential debate. Let us rewind back to 2015. It was Goodluck Ebele Jonathan who refused to turn up at the presidential election and that presidential debate. So the presidential debate was between Shehu Shekarau and Muhammadu Buhari, and I think Nuhu Ribadu. He turned up. See, he turned up in the 2015 presidential debate. But in 2019, the same Muhammadu Buhari is scared to now turn up to face Nigerians in a presidential debate. Nigerians says, no, we need Muhammadu Buhari at a presidential debate. So that information that got into my possession this morning was APC has appointed Vice President Yemi Osinbajo as representative for 2019 presidential election debates. So collectively, Nigerians are now saying no to representation. We don't want Nigerians. We don't want Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to debate presidential debate. This is not a vice presidential debate, but a presidential debate. Buhari is the president and commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic, commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and he must come out. He has to come out and answer questions at the presidential debate for 2019. Otherwise, Nigerians are hammering. He will not get any vote anywhere. Those days are gone. Guys, those days are terribly gone when Nigerians are blindfolded. The Nigeria of today is very sophisticated, and there are more sophisticated Nigerians abroad. So we don't want Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at that presidential debate. No. Let Muhammadu Buhari come out and face Nigerians. Look, Donald Trump did it with Hillary Clinton. Yes. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is not the president. He cannot carry out any presidential debate. When it's time, when it is time to junket to London to see Mrs. Theresa May at number 10 Downing Street, Muhammadu Buhari is fit to jump into his private jet and come over to London. When it is time to junket to the United States to see Donald Trump, Buhari is fit. Yeah, he won't send his vice president. When it is time to address Commonwealth heads of government meeting, Buhari is equally fit to do all those things. When it's time to go to Germany, he's fit. When it's time to go to China, Buhari is fit. When it's time to go to The Hague, Buhari is 100% fit. When it's time to go to Morocco, Buhari is far more fitter than anybody. When it's time to go to Russia to see Vladimir Putin, Buhari is very fit. When it is time to go to Turkey, he's very fit. When it's time to trottle around the globe, let me assure you, Buhari is fit. When it's time to defend his comrades in arms, like his Fulani headsmen, that man is 100% fit. When it's time for Buhari to appoint only his ethnic people and blood children, Buhari is fit as a bigot. But when it's time for presidential debate, Buhari is not fit. So the writer concluded, please tell him that he must be fit. So I am equally telling Muhammadu Buhari now, he has to be fit for that presidential debate. Don't shortchange Nigerians. Nigerians don't want to hear that you are not fit to face that presidential debate. No, we want you to come out. Come out, Muhammadu Buhari, and face the consequences. Face Nigerians. Tell them exactly what you have done in the last 3.5 years to warrant them voting you back into power. And please don't tell Nigerians that you were busy fighting corruption. Buhari must present himself at this debate as I am advocating on behalf of several millions of Nigerians. If Buhari is not fit to come out for that presidential debate, then let him resign his position. Do the honorable thing, Mr. President. Nigerians are tired of your bigotry. If you know you can't handle it, another alternative, hand over presidency to your vice president and tell Nigerians you are incapacitated and you can no longer rule, period. Let me take some comments. I know you guys have left loads of comments here. Yeah, I think I've taken that. You have taken that. You have taken that. Kitaiwo said no, it's not, Frank. The campaign in Lagos is not happening, Frank. Why is it not happening? The campaign in Lagos, Frank, is fake news. Okay, let's see. Okay, Ayo Gundimu said Buhari is a clone. Adeosun Adedoyin, you're welcome to the show. Ayo Gundimu, please sign and share this petition. Yeah, okay, Ayo Gundimu, I think, tagged in a petition which he wants everybody in this forum to please sign and share. I'm going to sign it as well. Ayo Gundimu, I think that's a good starting point. Charles Eleka said Igbos are hated by their neighbors just because they are hardworking and industrialists. Indeed, they are. Indeed. And that's one thing many government in Nigeria are not acknowledging. Ayo Gundimu again said, we the people must reject this attempt by APC to trick Nigerians yet again. This Buhari is a clone. We need to see him in a live debate. Correct. Trust you, my dear friend Ayo Gundimu. Yes. Yeah. Kalejaye Babatunde, AAC party is the party. Omoyele Sowore is the answer. Yes, I think we've got all the Omoyele Sowore's group in. Is Atiku saint? I'm not saying Atiku is a saint. So long as you have ruled Nigeria or you've been through the corridors of power, you're not saint. Nobody is saying Atiku is a saint. No, I'm not saying that. You see, back to what you've just posted, Kalejaye Babatunde, that is Atiku a saint. Now, I think I'm not too sure. I think in one of the news media, now Professor Sage said that no proof that Atiku is corrupt. He said that the presidential candidate of the opposition party, the PDP, People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, is corrupt, is wrong. Answering questions on the possibility of Abubakar being corrupt during an interview with the Sun newspaper, Sage said, despite the allegations that the PDP presidential candidate is corrupt, the federal government has not been able to provide any proof that the Waziri Adamawa is truly corrupt as touted. That is actually coming from Professor Sage. Now, I told you guys that Abba Kyari is dead, and it is a shocking news for the supposedly cloned Muhammadu Buhari. Now, this tweet I got, Kalejaye Babatunde said, good, thanks for the frank answer. That's my name, Frank Answer. Like IBP did answered one of my questions when I threw him a bullet in his press conference at the Hilltop. And by the time he started answering my questions, he said, "Frank, I'll be frank with you." And he was very frank with me, so you are actually repeating the same thing. Now, this tweet I got, they said it was a breaking news. Presidency to spend 5 billion naira to impeach Akwa Ibom State Speaker. The Inspector General of Police to be instructed to escort 5 APC members. Listen, 5 APC members to the impeachment in order to forcefully achieve this tomorrow. So the goal is to impeach governor. So 5 of those that will impeach that governor is now greater than 20. This is APC magic. So that person is actually referring to the fact that we have to say no to impunity. And one other issue I really want to go into here is the mere fact that somebody actually came up with some facts and sentiments for us, and that actually came from somebody who I tagged as well as one of the Buharists in London. Although he's my in-law, he's my junior sister's husband, Jide Adams. I'll mention his name because eventually I might probably actually tag him. So he's a Buharist, and I think he's equally, should I call him? Yeah, he's a Buharist. I wouldn't say he's a Buharideen, but he's a Buharist. So in that letter, it was fact sentiments, and they actually looked into the Nigerian net oil export revenue from 2010 to 2015, which I think I treated that issue some time ago. Now, oil prices $110 per barrel, and stable oil production at 2.4 million barrels per day in the period. So in 2010, Nigeria realized 70 billion. 2011, 99 billion. 2012, 94 billion. 2013, 84 billion dollars. 2014, 77 billion dollars. 2015, 21 billion dollars. So that was from January to May 2015. So altogether, the total revenue was that Nigeria derived from the sale of its crude oil was $445 billion. What have they done? What infrastructure have they brought into the country to warrant that money, that obscene amount of money? You see, from 2010 to 2015, Nigeria realizing 445 billion US dollars as revenue, and we have not really got anything, no infrastructure to show for it. You see, it disturbs me that with all those, with that huge amount of money that Nigeria realized, no government thought it fit to actually erect an infrastructure, even if it is the railway. I want to give you one classic example here. Africa, America, they loot all the money. Yeah, in fact, I want to buttress this. Olad Adisa, you're welcome to my show. The Kalejayi Babatunde said they can't account for it. You see, I want to actually look at the UK, for instance, and I want us to take our mind back into one of the biggest engineering project in Europe, not only in the UK, in Europe. And I really want to take our mind back into a project called the Crossrail in England. You see, Crossrail the project commenced 15th of May 2009. And that project is almost at its completed end. So literally, Crossrail is linking the east, the farthest part of England from the east to the west, as far as Reading, with a linkage that will link London Heathrow Airport. Like, for instance, the Crossrail passed through my area, and from my area where I live, by Crossrail, when that operation starts, it'll only take me 15 minutes from where I live on Crossrail to Heathrow Airport. You see, the British government commenced that Crossrail. Now, how much is the entire project on Crossrail? How much is the entire Crossrail project? I'm just checking it straight away so that you guys will not say I'm cheating. Guys, the Crossrail is called the Elizabeth Line, and the total cost of the Elizabeth Line is approximately about 14.8 billion pounds. Did you hear that? 14. I'm looking at it. Look, I've just Googled it. You can see that. You can read it from my tablet. 14.8 billion pounds for a rail line starting all the way from Shenfield in Essex and then going through to Reading in Berkshire. That is a bit of a distance, mate, for 14.8 billion pounds. And there we've got the Nigerian government. 1, 2, 3, 5 years, 5 solid years. They made $445 billion, and there was nothing to show for it. Small time. Some people will say black people are not shithole. I am afraid black people are shithole. Akamu Sikiru, you are welcome. Oh, Mrs. Aisha Musa, you are welcome to my show. I was thinking of actually calling you later on to send you my condolences. I was told at the Nigeria High Commission that you lost your son. My prayers and my thoughts are with you. I wanted to call you, but obviously because of the time difference, I was unable to do that. But I am really sorry that such a tragic event happened to a wonderful and delightful person like you. But God knows best, and I am sending you this condolence through my platform to express my my heartfelt condolences to you. God will be with you. For $45 billion. Guys, like somebody said earlier on that Nigeria is a joke. And indeed, yeah, can you imagine? 14.8 billion pounds. The Crossrail is one of the biggest engineering project in the whole of Europe, and it's cost the British government 14.8 billion pounds. Go and check how much they're spending on revamping that rotten, useless Nigerian railway. Go and check how much Amechi is spending on old coaches. Go to Nigeria, go to Yaba, Ojuri, go to Oshodi, and see the rotten state of the Nigerian Railway Corporation's rail. It's nothing to talk about. Guys, I think I should be bringing this podcast to an end very gradually. It's been tough. But if I'm asked to really look into the right person amongst the two, between the APC and the PDP, I'm not going to lie to you. I'll rather go for Atiku if they cannot allow. I'm not too sure of Sowore, because even Showore's campaign is scattered all over the whole places, and somebody is now suggesting that he probably need a very good communications director to help him, but it's a one-man show. I feel for him, but he's doing a great job. Omoyele Sowore is doing a great job. Perhaps he's laying a foundation for what will happen in 2023, to be very honest with you. So, but I'd like to bring this podcast this great day. It is still raining out there, and the temperature is about 5 degrees Celsius in London here. It is grayish. It's not looking very good. For those of us who are in the UK, we take loads of vitamin D. I've taken mine today because we get less of the sun these days. Yes, yes, already people are already sending their condolences to you as well. Ikechukwu Williams Ifeanyi is sending you his condolences. Mrs. Musa, Buki Taiwo said Sowore has no voice here in Nigeria at all. Okay, Franka Obi said, Frank, Nigeria is pathetic. I'm just leaving you guys. I think I've written the, I've said the worst that anybody can say. I can say I've written the most harshest things in the newspapers and the magazines about that, about how filthy that country is, and quite a handful of many people out there even labeled me as an outcast, a sellout. So guys, Niyi Solanke, thank you very much, my brother. You're welcome to the show. Now the show is, I'm bringing this show to an end, and in bringing this to an end, there was something that actually captivated me earlier on today, I think, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm sure most of you must have seen that gone viral on social media. You know that guy. You can see that from my tablet. Yeah, you can see that, okay? Yeah, that is the Rocket Man, the leader of the North Korean president, Kim Jong-un. So he said on Al Zero West Africa that look, I'm going to quote you exactly what he said. Ghana and Nigeria are the backbone of Africa. They have all the natural resources in abundance to make them the most important and sought after countries in the world, but corruption is a major problem and a curse to them. We are cursed in that country. I'm just giving you an outline between the Crossrail and the $443 billion Nigeria realized in 5 years from the sale of its crude. So Kim Jong-un then said, give me just a year, give me just 1 year, and I will transform these two countries into first-class countries that will attract businesses all over the world. Nigeria should give in. Ghana should give in and let us colonize them for the second time, so they will eventually learn how to run a country. So we don't know how to run a country. These two countries, according to him, are on a mission of proving to the whites and blacks, to the whites that blacks are only good at crimes and having the power of having long-lasting sex, as in jiggy-jiggy. Sit up Africa, sit up Ghana, and sit up Nigeria, or just sell the countries to us. Look, Kim Jong-un, the rocket man, a small boy, the rocket man, according to Trump, telling Nigerians and Africans, Nigerians and Ghanaians, that they are nothing but rubbish. Look at him advocating that they should sell, Nigeria and Ghana should be sold to them so that they can come in and then recolonize us. Our leaders should be ashamed of themselves because they are all screwed up. Yeah, they are screwed up. That's Kalejaye Babatunde said, that's the honest truth about Nigeria's situation. See, when Trump came up with the idea that we are shithole, a lot of Nigerians and everybody shouted down Donald Trump. I hailed Donald Trump. You guys don't know exactly the sort of intelligence report that Donald Trump was provided with before describing black people as shithole. Guys, I like to quote to this show. Yeah, Amina Olayinka said it is sad. Yeah, you don't blame Donald Trump. I guess that's exactly what you're saying. Or you don't blame the rocket man, Jong-un. Now, I'm bringing this podcast to an end. This grayish day, rainy in my present location where I am. It's not looking very good. 5 degrees Celsius, very cold. I don't mind it cold, but when it rains is what I hate. So guys, I just want to seize this opportunity once again to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to watch this show this afternoon. It's been fantastic. The time is just coming to 2:30. Let me be precise. 25 minutes past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This day, Tuesday, the 14th day of November 2018. I want you to please share it if you want to share it. If you want other people to equally benefit from this piece of information, yeah, why not? Do it. Amina Olayinka said, I blame the leaders that believe that they have to steal for their generation unborn. Indeed, they're crazy people. They're crazy. I have come to believe that black people are not created by God. We don't portray his being. No, God, no. Wisdom it is the same black people. God created the black people the same way he created the white people. But the fact of the matter is, I think what happened is that God, you see, there was a cliche. In fact, let me put it this way. When I was growing up, there was a cliche. Dr. Umeaki, today you are welcome to the show, my brother. That's my big brother in the States. When I was growing up, there was a cliche back in the Southwest, in Lagos at the time, and they said, well, a story. It was a story. They said when God was creating human beings, black people were sleeping. When God was busy creating everything miraculous, this plane of existence, that black people were lazy, we were sleeping, and that the white man was not sleeping, and white man opened one eye with one eye shut, and that white man, they were looking at God, the way God was creating many things, and because they were not sleeping, but black people were sleeping. That is why white people are smarter, because they were watching God as God was molding everything, creating everything. See, the only thing that the white race cannot create is human being. They've succeeded in cloning, but they cannot create human being. And I tell you what, I remember I picked up a surgeon sometime, and we were chatting, and the surgeon said to me that there is no part in human body that medicine has not conquered. They've conquered everything. The only thing left is for the white race to manufacture human being, and that is practically impossible, because the very day the white people manufacture their own blood, if they are successful in manufacturing their own human blood, is the day they'll create their own human being. And you know what? Blood is life. So practically they cannot create human being. But you look at the aeroplane, look at everything that is flying about, look at the cars, look at the rail, look at the beautiful engineering works that is sustaining us, that is making life extremely comfortable for all of us. This plane of existence is because the white man was like that. They shut one eye and one eye open, and they were looking at God. Again, another story to buttress exactly what you're saying, that black people are not good. We're not good. We're only good at killing one another, inflicting spiritual damage into our fellow human being, sending spiritual missiles to people. Hence, you see all the churches in Nigeria praying fervently, fasting, that the arrow that's been sent to me, return fire for fire in Jesus' name. That is all what we know. To send spiritual missile, to see that somebody is progressing and suddenly you are not happy, then you attack that person spiritually. And spiritual warfare is a warfare that any medical doctor cannot wrestle with. They can't battle it. They'll tell you there's nothing wrong with you, but inside you there's a lot that's going on inside you. Another story. I was departing Murtala Mohammed Airport sometime in one of my business trips, And as I was departing, I was at the I was sitting at the departure lounge. I'm just telling you the story to see how bad we black people are. So there was this old woman sitting next to me at the departure lounge, not knowing that the mama was actually traveling to England to see, for the first time, to see the son, who apparently happens to be a medical doctor and a consultant. So the old woman was sitting next to me at the departure lounge, and we were looking at the BA flight that was taking us back to England, huge, massive, on the tarmac. And the mama asked me, the old man, I think this was about 10 years ago. Perhaps she's passed on now. So the old poor woman asked me very politely in our language, in Yoruba, to say, ọmọ mi jọ̀ọ́, ṣé nǹkan rẹpẹtẹ tó fẹ́ gbé wa lọ sí ìlú òyìnbó rèé, looking at the Airbus on the tarmac, huge, massive. Then I said, yes, ma'am. Yeah. Then I asked, I said, mama, ibo lẹ ń lọ mà? Wọ́n ní ìlú ọba ni, ìlú òyìnbó. Mo ní okay, mo ní òun náà ni yóò sì gbé wa lọ mà. That's the aircraft that will take us. Not knowing, because I like to sit by the window side of the aircraft because I love flying. So not knowing that it was the mama that was sitting next to me on the same flight. So, but as we settled, so the mama was still stunned, big, massive. It was a full flight. So the old woman was still startled to say, Then she asked me again in our language, in Yoruba language, ọmọ mi jọ̀ọ́, ṣé kíní yìí yóò sì gbéra ńlẹ̀? Then I replied her, in English, will this big, mighty thing, will it still take off? And I said, yes, it will take off, mama. So then I said, okay, mama, I assured the woman, I said, mama, when we take off and when we are in the sky, I will tell you. So we taxi, and by the time the plane took off, I knew when we took off ground. Then I said to mama, I said, mama, and then the mama just looked at me, and then she did like this. She said, òyìnbó igbákejì Ọlọ́run. The mama said it. Òyìnbó igbákejì Ọlọ́run, that is white man, second in command to God. I'm just buttressing exactly what you guys are saying there. Yeah. Those are fallacy, Joe. We are all created by God. We are. God gave them wisdom and gave us wealth. But wisdom supersedes all. Correct. Desmond. Wisdom. And that, you see, anytime I am in my supplication to God, my one-on-one communion with my Maker, I tell you, I never ask him for money. I ask him for two things. The same type of wisdom that he gave to Solomon, the same type of wisdom I really want, and a good health. You are right, Desmond. He with wisdom has got everything. It is the wisdom. Amina Olayinka said exactly. Yes, so guys, listen, I just want to seize this opportunity to thank all of you for tuning in. My auntie, Mama Tayo, Auntie Teju, she's watching equally from Nigeria. I've got loads of variety of people all tuning from different parts of the world watching this podcast. I think probably today is Tuesday. I think if there's any other new stuff that I really need to chunk out to you, I will definitely do that. But in the meantime, the time is just coming to 14:34, going to the 14:35. This grayish, rainy Tuesday, the 27th day of November 2008. Look, guys, I appreciate all of you who tuned in. I appreciate all the comments that you have made. I appreciate your time that you've spent with me. Time, according to that adage, is money. So I really value you guys, and if you want to share it so that other people are aware of what we have discussed in this forum. So guys, until next time, probably if I have anything good tomorrow, I will definitely come back on tomorrow. If there's any breaking news or something that I really need to analyze, I'll do that. So until that time, guys, stay cool and take good care of yourselves. God bless you. Till we meet.